right, and we are live. Thank you so much for being here. It wouldn't be a Points of Philip video if we didn't kick it off by saying, "Hey, friends, what's up?" Philip here with Points of Philip, and yeah, that's right. I do have the logo up in the corner now. So anyway, thanks so much for being here, guys. I really appreciate you. Today's been kind of a weird day for me. My wife and I have actually we've been doing a fundraising garage sale. So a lot of people have been donating, stuff and they've been donating things for us to sell in a garage sale to raise money for the adoption, so that's been really great. So that's kind of been what we've been doing today. So we just got out of the pool because in Orlando it was 85 degrees today. Yeah, that's pool weather. So anyway, thanks so much for being here, everybody. So we got Dim in the crowd too. Thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate you. Greetings from Costa Rica. Wow, flying back to Miami tomorrow. Beautiful country. I have wanted to go to Costa Rica for a while. I'm trying to convince my wife to go into more South American countries, but she's kind of trending more towards European countries. But I really wanted to go to Costa Rica. It looks like a lot of fun. I got to ask you, Dim, did you do the zip line? Because everywhere I look, when there's Costa Rica, like literature or something, there's always like the zip line, right? Did you do that? You have to let me know. But I think there's a couple of really good Hiltons there too. There's a couple of really good hotels. I think there's a Waldorf that just recently opened on the Pacific Coast. So we're excited. But anyway, that sounds really awesome. But I'm so glad you were able to go to Costa Rica. Flying into Miami tomorrow. What lounge are you going to? I guess should say try to get into is the question, right? Because I feel like a lot of people say that there's a wait with the Miami Centurion Lounge. Is that correct? I feel like. Anyway, let me know. Background Balloon is here. Thanks so much for being here, Background Balloon. I love you. I love that you're always here. Yo, can't stay, but long, but gotta still watch. Thank you. I appreciate you. I feel like the later kind of stream is kind of working a little bit better than the earlier kind of in the afternoon stream. Just let me know which ones you like better. Kevin Wins here. This is my 5th live stream this week. Wow. Yeah, it is amazing. There's almost, live programming every single night, at least in the credit card space. I caught that one with Uncle Luke and Spencer Johnson. He really seems like a really solid, upstanding guy. He's despite the fact that he is very pro Chase, which I'm not anti-Chase. I guess I just don't have the right cards, right? So I got the Southwest Priority card. I got the Ritz-Carlton card, which I love the Ritz-Carlton card. It's just I don't do that much spend on it because, well, it earns Marriott points. And then I have the Amazon Prime Visa, which is great. But all the points that I earn for spending are pretty much usually through Amex or Capital One. But yeah, no, this week has been kind of crazy. That was a good stream. I love that one. And then I was able to catch, let's see, who else had it? I had to work late a couple of nights, and so I missed a couple. I do know I missed John R's, but it sounded like he had a good time with everybody. All right, Background Balloon, nice. Would have love to donate some stuff for you to have sold, but I'm literally on the other side of the U.S. Yeah, it probably would cost more to actually get it here than we probably would have earned. But anyway, I appreciate the sentiment. Anyway, it's actually an interesting idea. A friend of ours, they adopted a couple of years ago, and they said they were able to do a decent amount of fundraising through that. We did pretty well for ourselves. Let's see, we got Nicholas. Thank you so much for being here. First time, love watching your videos. I appreciate you. I love hearing that people are actually watching my videos and that it's actually not just kind of me screaming into the void. And I especially love hearing that people are enjoying them and not just keeping it in the background. Points of Philip, what is your next trip? So my next trip is actually to not Puerto Rico, sorry. Puerto Rico. Yeah, I'm going to San Juan, Puerto Rico for the creator meetup. And then after that, I'm actually going to be visiting a fellow creator the following week, actually. So I'm going to get home on that Tuesdays when we're flying out. I'm going to work Wednesday and then Thursday, and I'm actually flying back out on Friday. And then after that, we're actually doing a week-long trip for the week of Thanksgiving to the mountains. And so my wife's family has kind of a mountain house. And so we're going to be going up there for a little bit just because we want to go where it's actually freezing cold. Just because we haven't been in a freezing cold place in a while. So we definitely want to do that. But thanks so much for the question, Alan. Love seeing you as well. Dim, we've done Europe extensively. Currently at a Westin in Guanacaste near Tamarindo on a work trip and finally got to enjoy it. That's awesome. I forgot who it is that really loves Westins. I want to say Stan the Credit Frog is a fan of the Westins, and honestly, they're really nice because they're a little bit nicer than just like your regular Marriott, but you do have you still have like some perks. Like I think some Westins actually still do have executive lounges and like suites and things like that. So I feel like Westins can be kind of a really good sweet spot. But yeah, that's awesome. If I do know Dim, maybe you know this. My wife and I really have been thinking about going to Prague and Vienna, and we're trying to figure out which one's easier to fly into. And it seems like if we're doing, I think it was Prague, it's pretty much most of the flights are flying through Frankfurt, which means a Condor flight might be in the mix. But we'll have to see, which one is the best one. But we were trying to get a fall trip together, but it just didn't really ever pan out. Kevin, this week is back-to-back night live stream. Absolutely, yeah. I wonder who's going to be here on tomorrow night. We'll see. Dim, no lounge at LAR, down for renovations. Oh, that's sad. I won't be visiting a lounge when I get back, but I visit the flagship AA lounge before flying down, closer to my gate than Centurion. I've heard some really good things about the flagship AA lounges. They just unveiled what I think they're doing, those like the grab and go style lounges too. I feel like that's actually pretty interesting. It's a good way to handle the business end of situations, right? So it's like, the problem is that too many people really get into lounges. The solution is make it easier for people to not get into, like, still have the kind of lounge experience, but also not clog up the works for everybody. Let's see here. Background balloon. I don't mind when anyone goes live. I'm just going to stand-up comedy show, and it's a good distance from where. Oh yeah, no, absolutely no. Yeah, honestly, stand-up comedy is really, really good. I love. There's actually a bunch of accounts on TikTok that just like share stand-up comedy. I'm like, maybe I should go and get into doing some of those in person. I like kind of like the back and forth, and they kind of work the crowd a little bit. That's always fun, and that's always yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that you're going to go do that. Hopefully that's a fun time. That sounds like a fun time. Dim, our travel focus is now Africa, Central, South America, and Asia. Okay, Dim, I'm kind of picking your brain at this one, which is weird because like maybe you should be the one doing the live and I should be the one commenting. But my TikTok account is absolutely flooded with those videos of, let's see, it's the Savannah, like the hot air balloons, right? And it's like those look so cool. Like just being in a hot air balloon floating above all the elephants and the lions and all that sort of stuff. That just looks so cool. I think I would be terrified of like, losing power and then all of a sudden having to like fall down in the middle of a lion's nest or den, or it's a den, right? That would be terrifying. But like those videos, they look so cool, and it's weird. It's always that same song. It's always like kind of like African kind of vocals against like some like very dramatic kind of string score. But yeah, no, that's awesome. I really want to do Africa. What's the city guy? What's his name? He's the expat that lives in Africa. Oh, I forgot his name. It's terrible. My memory is not doing so hot right now. He really he gets me willing to go to Africa quite a bit. Like it's not that difficult to go either. At least for points, right? It's not that difficult. Like we can actually get from Orlando to, well, Africa. So like, usually talking about Egypt or something like that, for like just connecting in Heathrow, which is not bad. That's awesome. Okay. Joey Cowboy 14. Thanks so much for being here. Just hopping on. I think Max Rewards or a similar service is very useful if you have a lot of cards, not required but helpful. Yeah. I do use Max Rewards Gold. So I have used Max Rewards and the Gold subscription with it. And the thing that like I have to say about Max Rewards is, first of all, everyone complains about the fact that you have to log in directly. Now you don't like. Actually, sometimes you do give them your login, but it's a really great way for me to make sure that I'm just like all my offers are activated. I get alerts to all of my due dates. Like I like to control kind of when I actually make those payments, and so like I don't have a lot of my credit cards on auto pay, just kind of the ones that I don't normally spend on that much, just to make sure I don't miss anything. But I do like seeing like which due dates are coming up, and I really love it when like payday comes around and I just clear everything out, which is super awesome. But I love Max Rewards because it helps me keep up with due dates. Of course, I have like, I think it was like 40 something cards open right now. And so that's super helpful for me. The one thing that really bugs me is whenever a card distributor doesn't like actually play nice with Max Rewards or even my budgeting app, like Synchrony cards, like even the Venmo card, I can't get it to sync with my budgeting app. I can't get it to sync with Max Rewards. But again, there's not really that many benefits of syncing it with Max Rewards. But one thing that is interesting though, so we were talking a little. I've seen a lot of people talk about the higher like the my Chase offers page, and that like you have to register each card. If you have Max Rewards and all your Chase cards are synced, every single card that's eligible for that bonus, like the extra point multiplier or whatever for the quarter, those actually get activated on every single card. And so sometimes there's a limit to how many cards you can activate it on. But so far, it's activated on my Chase, my Sapphire Preferred, my Southwest card, and my Ritz card, which is actually interesting to have the higher multipliers for dining, restaurants. Well, yeah, dining and gas. And I think there was another one in there somewhere. But yeah, Max Rewards is really a great way to kind of keep everything in sync. There are some things that are kind of weird, like, and on the back end, they tell me that I have access to, I think it's like $500,000 in rewards, because for some reason on the back end, they're making it look like I have like my 500,000 points is redeemable for $1 in cash or something crazy like that, but also redeemable for like points. So it totals up the cash value of the points plus the rewards value of the points or something. It's like there's certain parts of the app that are kind of buggy, but the core features, the ones that I use it for, making sure I'm available for all my offers are activated on all my cards, that I love it for. And then keeping all my due dates together. But yeah, no, thanks. Great suggestion, Joey. It's one of my favorites. Card pointers is also another one we can get into as well. Dim didn't get to do any zip lining, unfortunately. That's sad, but it's weird. It's like every single video I see about Costa Rica, it's always zip lining, which is just like, sorry. You think that there would be something else to do there. And there is. I'm just being facetious. At demo, fly into Prague over Vienna person. Okay, well that's good to know. That's really, really good to know. Okay, and I was looking at trains between the two too, because we really love European trains, and so that's kind of an option maybe too. Oh, Eduardo has a really great question. If you had to stick to one ecosystem, which one would you pick? So the obvious answer is American Express, but and then there's the flying the ointment, which is, if you're traveling, American Express is probably not going to be a good option, right? So if you're only staying at Hilton's, you're fine there. And if you're only staying in London, right? I have had no one turn down my American Express card. But if you even go like 20 minutes outside of London, just driving around, no one's going to take it. It's just, no one's going to take it. Paris was like, I think there were two places, two restaurants that were close to, Notre Dame. That actually took my American Express Gold card, but then the rest of them just didn't, right? So you need to have a Visa card. So if I had to pick one, right, I probably like, so my second best, right, if I had to do something for travel and not pick the American Express, I would want to pick Citi, because they have such great partners. Because I love AA miles, right? I actually enjoy flying AA, and we love flying Delta too. But sometimes AA actually has a little bit better service, honestly. But then if there's a problem, if you only have Citi and you're overseas, and they decide that you're going to get one of their letters, you're kind of up a creek, because you don't have a way to spend money, and you may need to have to spend money to get home. So I guess Capital One would probably have to be the most general one, or Chase, one of those two. But Capital One, you get the Venture or the Venture X, and it's 2x instead of 1.5x with Chase. That's a hard one to pick. Obviously I would prefer to do Amex, and if I was only staying domestically, I would probably say Amex too. But because if we're talking about international travel, then probably have to do Capital One in there too. Juan Garcia, looks like they launched early the new CSR benefits for those grandfathered at previous annual fee. I did see that. Yeah, that's actually so okay. So we can talk about how great that is, which it is great, right? It's good, but also what are you doing, Chase? You're smoking all this weird stuff. just let the people that have the card that have been loyal, right? This is the thing that I don't understand. You're penalizing the people that have been loyal to this card and making them kind of wait out all the benefits. Meanwhile, everyone else has been enjoying all of the hotel edit credits and the restaurant chase table things and like all the things. I don't have the Chase Sapphire Reserve, you can tell. But like I feel like you do get credit for doing the right thing here, but also do the right thing and let the people that actually have held your card, possibly for years at this point, many years, and let them enjoy the benefits too. I don't understand why not do the Amex thing. It's not like it's better, right? It's not better for customers that only a little bit get to do the thing, because on the back end too it seems like it's more difficult. Sorry, I apparently have emotions, Juan. But yeah, no, it is a good thing. It would be nice if Chase didn't chase. Background balloon. My regular strat is going to be good. Put to good use tonight. Or Capital One Saver might do Saver to increase my chances for a Venture X approval in the future. Yeah, Capital One, they are very, very sensitive to use, and that's the thing. Like I it's weird. So I did a video August where I talked about like I wanted to do more Capital One spending because I was wanting to increase my odds of getting the Venture X and increase my credit limits and the whole 9 yards, right? And they're very sensitive to actually using those cards, and that's what I was planning on doing. But then I got a sign up bonus. I got the high sign up bonus for my Hilton card. I got the base model card, and then I got a sign up or a referral bonus for the Mesa card that I'm currently working on. And I'm just like, Capital One, it's in my wallet, but it hasn't been used so much, just because we're kind of working on those things. And it's like, it's just, I fully intended to do it. I failed. I failed epically. Maybe I should do a video about that. At DIM, we're doing Singapore, Malaysia, and Indonesia for 3 weeks in April, and Zanzibar, Tanzania for 3 weeks after. Wow, that's an amazing trip, Dim. That's an insane trip. I would love to do that trip. I just, yeah, that would be so much fun. That's the thing I love about doing trips like that, is like if you are on that side of the world anyway, just add on another country, right? Like do something else. Like I mean, you sure you can stay for 1 or 2 weeks at one place and kind of really get locked into the culture of that place, but if you're going to go over there anyway, add an extra week, go a different place. I feel like that's really a really good, great experience for me and my wife. We really love doing that. Sleepy Rod says R Square travel. Yeah, he has got me looking into Mexico. Honestly, or not Mexico, Africa. Sorry. He's really honestly another thing too is like he was. I think he did a video where he talked about the house that he was living in and how kind of cheap it was. And I was like, wow, that actually made. Should I buy a house in? I forgot which country he's in. But I was like, should I do that? And I was like, I'm not even there. I'm just watching his videos. And I'm like, I really, let's go to Africa. I'm ready for it. At Dim, you're thinking R Square travel. Yeah, thanks so much. Awesome. All right, Stacy's travel points. Hello, working on activating all the CSR benefits. Yeah, that's awesome. That was quite the list too, honestly. They do have, you have to give them their credit. Like they do have a lot of credits on that card. I guess I just get way too hung up on that DoorDash credit, because like I'm not gonna do grocery shopping for 2 weeks on DoorDash to save $10, because you're gonna spend that $10 for that either on the tip or something like that. That's but yeah, no, it's a solid card. Honestly, what if Chase was like, well, we're going to give you a Chase Sapphire Reserve, I would take it honestly in a heartbeat. I'd pay that annual fee and I'd get it, just because I mean it looks pretty. It has a couple of different things that I would like to try to work on actually using. So like I like to complain, but I would definitely keep that card if they would give it to me. Dim says Medellin in between the Asia and Africa trips. Thank you, MR/Racket. That's amazing. That is so great. I love that. That is an awesome trip. I love. Are you able to like work remotely or something? Like I feel like that would be kind of a big deal. But yeah, 6 weeks. That's a long time to be away. That's amazing. But one of the things that I do love is like eSIMs make it so much easier to like travel and like keep your phone, and I feel like it's a lot easier to stay in touch. Like when I was growing up, a lot of my friends, like they would go overseas because they were doing a lot better in life than I was, and you just like you wouldn't talk to them for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and you just like they'd be back and like, oh, like we made all these memories, like that's cool. But you can actually like you can talk to someone, you can FaceTime with someone. And WhatsApp is really easy, but I it's you can't get anybody to use it here, unless they have like a family reason to use it here. But my family, I couldn't get them to use it. Nicole, I'm here to see how to maximize multiple cards. I have a couple and it really hit hard, and it really hard with just Amex. I have three platinums. Wow, one gold, one green, Hilton Honors, Blue Business Plus, and Hilton Business Card. Yeah, so you have, well, first of all, with the three platinums, you got all of the FHR credits, and the thing that's fun about that, well, it's fun in a kind of a challenging way. So I like to think of it as a puzzle, right? You have to figure out how to maximize three FHR credits of $200 every 6 months, or $400, $300 every 6 months. That's right. And then all the other things. Wow, yeah. So what I've seen some people do, and I think what Key does is she actually has like a spreadsheet, and I think she actually shares it with some people. Well, no, she doesn't do the spreadsheet. She does the reminders. I think it is in her phone app, and she was telling me about how she, like, what she should do is just like, kind of put reminders every month. And so like once you use that credit, then you just like check the box. It's a cheap way to do it. I think card pointers is easy too, but the only thing that I don't like about card pointers is that it's very self-directed, and I'm lazy, right? I'm going to be upfront with it. Like if I have to be the one to log into my card pointers app and tell them that I used my Uber credit for that month on my gold card, like that's going to be kind of hard, right? So like I'd rather just use the Max Rewards app, honestly. But if you're really kind of nerdy with it, you could definitely do like an Excel spreadsheet or something like that. One of the great things I love about having the platinum cards with multiple gold cards, or even you just have the one gold card, is the Uber credits. The Uber Cash is very easy to double up on. Right. So like all those go into one account. So you're getting, $15 times three plus $10 for the gold card. Like that's an easy way to build that value. I love that. Yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, the green card is really a lot simpler now that they don't have the Lounge Buddy credit, right? You're just worried about using the clear credit, which, you probably don't even need to use because of the platinums. You probably do put a lot of spin on that green card, I would imagine, though, just to have it open. And then the Hilton Honors Card, I'm assuming that's the base model, so you don't really have a whole lot to worry about there. But then the Hilton Business Card, it's got that quarterly Hilton credit. And so that's between the quarterly Hilton credits and the Platinum FHR credits. I can imagine that being very difficult to do. Now, what I would suggest for that is you can, for on each platinum card, you can put like one night of your stay at, like for example, if I want to stay at the Waldorf in Orlando, and some nights you can get it for like 350 or 400. What I would do is I would book one night with one card, one night with a second card, and then the third night with a third card. And then when you get there, pay for it on your Hilton Business Card. That way, those incidentals, even if you're parking, right, it's only going to cover one night of parking at the Waldorf in Orlando, but like you still get that $50 credit. And so it's a way that you can kind of do that without having to worry about like saving that up. But again, like that's a quarterly credit. And so if you're not staying at Hilton's 4 times a year, then, there is a way to do it, right? Like you can buy any rate with that. Like, so if you do the prepaid rate put on the Hilton Business Card, you can kind of do that too. Like if you say you're going to stay 3 nights somewhere, you can put one night and one quarter, the second night in the second quarter, or things like that. So like there's ways to play around with it. But I think those would be honestly the most difficult ones to use. The only other thing I could think about would be the Lululemon one might be hard to finesse, just because it's hard to find something of value on Lululemon's site that's exactly $75. And so it could be nice if you could pay with all the 3 cards, like $75 on one, $75 on the other. So that could be hard too. Yeah, 3 platinum cards. That is not an easy lifestyle. You'll have to let me know how you're doing that. At Karis, I'm a former Max Rewards user. I got sick of the outages. Yeah, no, they have outages, and it's crazy. Like every once in a while, they'll just be like, Chase will be like, we don't like Max Rewards people anymore, and it won't even let you log in. And Amex was out for a little bit, I think last month. Some outages can be for months at a time. Yeah, I switched card pointers and paid $70 on Black Friday. I haven't looked back. Yeah, there you go. I've heard a lot of people really like card pointers. And it's so I think Card Pointers is the one that has the browser extension. So if you actually log into each of your app or each of your banking accounts on your browser that has the Card Pointers extension on it, it goes through and it automatically adds those offers for you. So that's kind of nice, right? And so yeah, I think that's part of the pro membership or like the higher tier membership for Card Pointers. But that I mean, it's an interesting way to get around it. But it'd be cool if there were just a way on the app to just be like, press a button, I want to get it done. Which that's what Max Rewards is good for. Well, it's partially good for. Wow, I am a little behind on the comments. So let's take a look at one. Reminder, swap out CSR if you have linked to any transit categories. Oh yeah, SunPass tolls train as say is last day of 3x transit before updated change of takes effect. Yeah, great reminder. And another kind of thing that, so I think I was talking about the Gemini card with Joe Barretto maybe a couple weeks ago. And we were discussing the fact that it's supposed to do transit at 4%. And so I actually put the toll. So we live in Florida, and so toll roads are kind of just a fact of life here. And so I put the toll roads on my Gemini card, and it only did 1%. And it did it a couple times. So I had to do that. I switched it back over to my Venture card, but then I realized I could probably get 4x on my Business Gold card. So I switched it over to that. And then once we see like how that transfers over, like once there's actually a charge that goes through, I'm going to have to share what happened with that, because a Business Gold card, now that it's a keeper, well, it's a keeper card for me because I actually already use Squarespace, but that might become my new transit card actually. But great suggestion, Juan. Thank you so much. Sweet, glad I could catch you live. Also, congrats on that 3K subs. Thank you so much, Link8754. I really appreciate you. Yeah, that was so crazy. It's been a wild ride so far. It's every time I log on, I see that 3,000 subscriber list. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. And like I started in March 1st was my first video. But yeah. Dim, I've exclusively used my Amex Green card the entire time I've been here in Costa. Okay, that's good to know. I'm so glad to hear that American Express is easy to use there. Like, I mean, it kind of makes sense a little bit when you think about it, but like even like the smaller places do that. That's really awesome. I'm so glad to hear that actually. I feel like it is kind of on a country by country basis. Like some countries are really good about it, some less good about it, right? Maybe it's a political thing. Sleepy Rod saw a Reddit post where Max Rewards will tell you a card doesn't have foreign transaction fees. Meanwhile, it does. It costs a user close to. Oh wow, yeah, no, that would not be good. I kind of keep a running tally. Well, so first of all, when I'm actually doing my travel wallet, I sit down and even if I've used that card a million times, even overseas, I still like go through the terms and conditions on the website and like just verify, okay, can I use this for this? Can I use this for this? And then I also make sure to kind of bone up on like all the changes for like, the rental car coverage or something like that. And so, I kind of like I build my travel wallets kind of intentionally whenever I travel. And I recently did a video that I think this week about that. And, so but no, that is bad. Like that's the thing that I don't like about Max Rewards is like, there are things where, like on the back end where it's supposed to tell you like how much benefits you have, like it just like it doesn't do a good job, specifically with product changes. So when I product change my gold card to my platinum card, it's giving me gold card benefits plus platinum card benefits and telling me that I'm getting all this stuff. So it's like the one of the key features is like how much value are you getting from the card? It kind of fundamentally fails in. And so that can definitely be a problem. No, yeah. Sleepy Rod, thanks so much for bringing that up. I had not heard about that. But that is not that is not good. You don't want to pay close to 1,000 in foreign transaction fees. This is stupid. It's stupid money. There's no reason for that to be a thing. I don't understand it. But yeah, no. Thanks so much, Sleepy Rod. Joey Cowboy, Chase's assumptions about new CSR and the decisions about the rollout were very poor. New CSR is not a bad card, but still can't believe how long it has taken for legacy holders to get new benefits. Yeah, because like it feels to me like Chase is taking their most loyal customers and just saying like, you guys are second class citizens. At least maybe that's what it is to me. Maybe, I'm missing something. That's totally possible, right? But it feels like a miss for me. All right, Filmo. Yeah, the Carib. Is it Carib or Caribe? So I was talking to a friend of mine. So one of the anchors at the station I work at, she's from Puerto Rico, and she said Caribe, and I thought I was being cool by saying it Carib. So I feel like it might be Caribe. Hilton Countdown is on. Can't wait for the power of Phil Squared. Yeah, no, it's gonna be so much fun. I recently, so originally, and so I actually did a video on Travel Wallet, and at the time when I recorded the video, my wife and I were staying at the Hilton Garden Inn for 2 nights and then transferring that to the Hilton Caribe or Caribe, which I really wasn't looking forward to because like hotel transfers in the middle of like going out and doing fun things and all that stuff, it's just like not something that I really wanted to do. But then I forgot who pointed out in the Discord chat. It might have been Sunny Money actually. Let me double check. Oh yeah, everyone's been talking about it in the points in the chat. So, but anyway, so it's there for a while. But anyway, and then so I was like, yeah, let's check it. So I was actually able to cancel my Hilton Garden Inn because that was booked completely with points, and then I actually just transferred in. So I had another 20,000 points, and then I just transferred in I think 2,000 Amex points for 4,000 Hilton points, and then I was able to actually book those 2 nights completely on points. So the first 2 nights are 75,000 points per night, and then the second 2 nights I think are 70,000 because I actually booked them before the rates went up. So one of the first evaluations. But no, I am so excited about all of this stuff with all you guys. You guys are such an amazing community. I can't wait to see you guys in person. It's going to be amazing. Chad's Money Minutes. Yo, thanks so much for being here, Chad. Chad is, I love his lives. He is so great about like going through and like kind of succinctly talking about something that's major in the credit card points and miles community. And the one thing that I don't like, the one that, well, it's not even that I don't like about it, it's just like I'm like, oh, like I'll join that in a second, and then by the time I actually remember to actually join his live, it's usually over just because he's usually done with his point and he's moved on. And so I very rarely do I actually catch a live in person, but I do love catching up with them. They're really great. Stacy's Travel Points I do pick up for DoorDash. I only have Sheets available for me. It's not too far, and I just get some basic staples: wine, sugar, drinks, paper towels. So easy. Yeah, Sheets is actually kind of an intense kind of a grocery store, and I feel like they actually kind of pay their people pretty well. I was talking to somebody who was a general manager of a Sheets, and it seemed like he was doing pretty well for himself. So yeah, that's a really solid option. I love that. I also do pick up for oh yeah, so this is for DoorDash. Oh, for groceries. Yeah, okay, that's awesome. I do pick up for Grubhub just because like there's a lot of places that do Grubhub, and actually in some places it's cheaper to use the Grubhub pickup option than to pay directly with that restaurant's app. Like there's one, it's called Bento. It's kind of like an Asian kitchen kind of thing, and if I get the gochujang chicken with rice, it's in through Grubhub pickup, it's 14.95, and if I go through their app, it's 16.95. So I don't know, make that make sense. But I can actually save a little bit of money by doing Grubhub pickup. At Filmo's World, me and my CSR are looking forward to meeting you at the BR meetup. Yeah, that's awesome. I've actually never held the CSR in my hand before, so maybe you can maybe you can kind of flash it and I'd be like, oh wow, that's a cool card. All right, then we have Dim. He's saying he's able to work remotely, work in finance as a department head. Wow, I was very briefly an economics major at UVA, and then I took Calc 2 and just I couldn't cut it. It just I got a little lost. But finance, that's amazing what you guys can do. But that's really great. Other issue with Amex overseas is when vendors do accept it, your spend might not code as expected. That is true too. Has a couple of restaurants pop on my Amex Gold as merchandise, so I got a fat 1x on my dining. I did hear, Sleepy Rod, someone say on my business gold card that they've actually seen more restaurants code as dining than on the personal gold card. But then, of course, on like, and that's like the dining category on the Amex Business Gold card is just U.S. dining, and so that may not work overseas, but that is still kind of good to know. Had not heard that before, so I was glad to hear that. Let's see, Joey Cowboy, one general plug for all. I think right now is a good time to try and apply for Venture X. City Strata Elite, CSR, and Amex Plat. I believe Capital One and City are being less restrictive than usual right now. Joey, I wish that were true. They are not being less restrictive, at least for me. But then again, like I get it, right? So I think I've opened up officially 22 cards so far this year, and it's a high velocity. It's a high velocity, and then my wife and I, we also opened up a an adoption loan, which is actually an unsecured kind of a line of credit, and so that shows up as kind of a revolving line of credit. And so like in my credit report does not look the most attractive for someone who's looking for a premium credit card. So I get that. But yeah, no, that's I more power to whoever is able to do it. But I just recently applied for the City Strata Elite. I think 2 weeks ago, was denied. And then I'm well past 524 at this point. Filmo at one. Yeah, we look forward to seeing CSR in the wild. Absolutely. Yeah, I haven't actually seen one. KRS, the new Amex app, tells you which credits you've used and what remains. Yeah, I do love that. That is such a great thing. And I honestly, one thing that I do like too is that they've actually started showing how close you are to earning the sign up bonus, it's wild that they're kind of the only ones that didn't. In fact, that's actually like what made me download the Max Rewards app in the first place, was because I was working on two different Amex sign up bonuses at the time, and I was trying to track them both on my own. And it was like, yeah, you can talk to the customer service reps and they'll tell you, but it's like, you want that little graphical interface, and I'm glad to see that they started to use that too. Manuel is saying, I'm not happy with Max Rewards either. Yeah, like I use them, but it is frustrating when it's like, oh, this doesn't work. And then you sign up for, or you talk to the customer service reps, like you write the little letter, and they're just like, and like 3 days later they're like, oh, what kind of issue are you experiencing? I'm like, oh, the issue that I told you about. Maybe start with that would be a good idea. Wow, that was sassy. I'm sorry, guys. I might have a bit of an attitude. I might need a nap, honestly. Boxer, thanks so much for being here, Boxer. What's up, everyone? So glad to see you. Biz Gold is better than a personal goal for me. No, I get it, Dim. Like honestly, like I was definitely one of those people that was saying like I was going to get rid of the business gold like as soon as that annual fee hit. It's gone, right? Like I went into it fully saying it's going to be a get in, get out, like get that 150,000 point offer and then just call it a day, right? But between the multipliers and the opportunities with the multipliers, right? Because if you are someone who's doing ad spend, or if you're just buying a computer, right? So if you're someone who's like, if your kids going to college and you're buying their laptop, like put it on the business gold card 4x for that $1,500 purchase, right? That's insane. That is amazing. And yeah, it's just, there's a lot of opportunities there. Now, the one thing you do miss out on is not dining, but dining is restaurants, grocery stores. You miss out on grocery stores, and that's just like it. I understand that a lot of people use Costco or Walmart or Target, but if you do use actual grocery stores like Aldi, you can save money at Aldi. That is just 4x on that. It's hard to beat. But then if you have the saver and the business gold, maybe it doesn't matter so much, right? QC Man, Dim, guess you don't do your grocery shopping at traditional grocery stores? Yeah, probably not. I would imagine so. But, yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that. Dim says, I mostly shop at Whole Foods, load up on Amazon gift cards to my Best Buy at 4x on BizGold plus 1x through Rakuten. That's amazing. My wife has a personal gold in case I need to shop at Publix or Walmart. Yeah, okay. That is a really intentional setup. I love that. Because honestly, if I was shopping at Whole Foods, I think my go-to would be to use my Amazon Prime Visa because that gets 5% back. But you found a way to make it 5x on Amazon or American Express points. And that's awesome, man. Dim, good for you. Dim is killing it in the game. Honestly, you're the king. We have to do the "I'm not worthy" kind of thing. Is that what we got to do? Also have city cards to cover, but in more MR found at the moment. Yeah, and membership reward points are just easier to get. Like it's just the long and short of it is that. Focus. Yeah, we figured out what you meant. Deb on the Amazon card get like 5%. Yeah, no, that's my go-to, right, Boxer? And so that's like, it depends if your team cash back, the Amazon Prime Visa works out well. But honestly, earning those MR points on that is not bad. That is not bad at all. Excuse me, yeah, that's the plan. Forex MR is better than 5% cash back for a person who travels. Absolutely. Yeah. So Dennis is not a Chase person boxer. I have the regular Prime card for 5% cash back, but value MR more than cash back. Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah. It's hard to beat those membership reward points. And another thing, if you're into the business cards, like if you have the business platinum card and the business checking account, you can convert you can basically cash out at 1 cent per point. Right. Yeah, no, it's definitely not as good as the Charles Schwab 1.1 cent per point, but that one has a limit. And 1 cent a point isn't terrible if you're trying to look for cash. I think one time I think I told you guys, like, I actually used that to buy this particular mic. Actually, I was able to cash out some points that I had for that. Boxer. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, so you guys are catching up. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone in PR. Yeah, it's gonna be a blast. I can't wait to see you guys. It just to put faces to names and all that sort of thing. Yeah, there we go. We got the Puerto Rican flag. It's good to hear about Sheets. I have a cousin who works for Costco. I also shop there, and he tells me they pay well and have good benefits as well. Honestly, like, there are actually some retail jobs that have better benefits and just as good pay as some of these more corporate jobs. Like, it is kind of crazy when you think about it. It's like, wow, like, maybe I should do that. A lot of people, like, everyone loves to talk about how much Bucky's pays because they put that giant billboard up. And I think there was someone on TikTok that was going around saying that it wasn't all it was cracked up to be because they require their employees to show up on time and a bunch of stuff. But yeah, no, I mean, like, pay me $24 an hour, I'll show up on time, right? That's not bad. Kevin Wynn, is it easier to get a credit card when you already have a banking relationship before applying for credit cards? So some banks are very intense on having a banking relationship. So Chase is really big on that. I've when I first moved down here, I switched banks to Chase. And probably maybe 6 months after I opened my bank account, that's when they started targeting me for the Amazon card, and that was my first Chase credit card. Actually, was the Amazon Prime Visa, and it was pretty much because I had the checking account. Bank of America is also very intense on that too, although it seems like they require you to have the checking account open for a decent amount. So I recently opened up mine with that special sign up bonus, and I actually did the $10,000 um, in the direct deposit, so I'm getting the full 500 back whenever that actually comes through. And so I'm going to keep that open until I actually get my first Bank of America credit card. But some banks really are intense about that. American Express much less reliant on having a banking relationship with them first, although you certainly can. And they actually have Zelle on their personal checking account now, which is also great. Fun fact: if you have the business checking account and the personal account, you can actually do instant transfers between your business and personal checking accounts, and then Zelle out on your personal account. So that's a way to get immediate money into other accounts. I found that out with Citi. Yes, absolutely. Yes, Citi is the same way. The personal gold is Forex World Dining. Yeah, exactly. And so if you are trying to travel overseas and they do take American Express, the personal gold's going to be better for you on that one. That's 100% QC, man. The U.S. only category is supermarkets. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. I think I was talking about the business gold with the dining though. But yeah, no, it's definitely important to note. Boxer, I'm actually curious how many people try the Amex card overseas with good luck. I'd personally just use something else. So I did a video, I think it was one of my seventh or eighth video, where I was in England and then in Paris, and I was like, we're gonna do the Amex challenge. So every single place I went to, I pulled out my American Express Gold card, and I was like, do you take American Express? And pretty much it was anywhere in London, absolutely fine. Sometimes the further out you go from London, iffy, right? Restaurants more likely to take it, but the bed and breakfast that we stayed at in the Cotswolds, so we stayed at Borton on the Water, and they only took Visa, so I actually had to use my Ritz Carlton card because it was the only Visa I had on me at the time. And so Paris was very few and far between as well. So it really just kind of a country-based thing. But yeah, no, I did that just because, what else am I going to do? I don't mind embarrassing myself to people I'm never going to see again for a couple of views on the internet. Kevin Wynn, for me, I have Wells Fargo for 4.5 years in December. That's amazing. I think Wells Fargo is also kind of dependent on having that. So that's kind of a big deal as well for Wells Fargo having a checking account. And so they actually that may be why they gave me my I just recently got the one key card, and maybe that's why they get it, because I did have a checking account open at the time. At Dim Boxer, I'm using my green exclusively here in Costa Rica at the moment. Yeah, that's amazing. I'm so glad to hear that. Thinking flying to Orlando to go see NASA Visitor Center, Space Shuttle Atlantis, best hotel to stay at. So the question is, M Hot 18. Hopefully you are 18 at least. But anyway, the question here is, do you want to stay over there? So the NASA Visitor Center is, I want to say, about 40 to 50-minute drive from Orlando Airport. And so if you're renting a car, that's great. But if you want to stay, if you want to do like, I want to stay in Orlando and then drive over there because I'm also going to go to the parks, then like staying as close as possible to whichever park you prefer is probably going to be the better way to go. I personally love the Waldorf it's technically on Disney property. And so you can actually take the Disney, like a shuttle to, certain Disney properties like Disney Springs and stuff like that. But if you want to actually stay by NASA Visitor Center, there's a couple of like the hotels are not that like they're not that upscale, and so like you'll see more like Fairfield Inns and things like that, and a lot of them are new. So one of the things about the Space Coast in Florida is that there's a lot of kind of tech companies and like kind of government contract companies that are hiring out there. So there's a lot of growth, which means a lot of these hotels are actually fairly new. And I feel like as long as you get into a fairly new hotel on the Space Coast, you should be fine. So just look for a hotel that actually like has been open in the last 2 or 3 years, and you should be fine. But that's kind of just where do you want to go, because there is that little bit of a drive. Boxer is asking Dim no issues rejections, and he's saying 0 for his Amex green card in Costa Rica. That's really good to know. Oddly, I've seen like 3 CSRs in a while this week, but I hardly see that. Okay, that's good to know, QC man. I've seen a lot of pictures of them, but I definitely haven't seen them actually, like I haven't held them in my hand. And we've been visiting different small towns. Okay, so that's the thing that I was wondering about, is whether or not the small towns impact whether or not that actually gets kind of accepted, right? Kevin, I seen the platinum card because one of my friends had. Okay, great. I did a video of the unboxing of the new platinum card, the mirror finish, but I actually had to use my friend's card because mine was like they gave me the slow roll on that one. Unfortunately, I don't need to use Max Rewards because I got so few credits to use. There you go, background. I mean, honestly, like there's something to be said for actually being simplistic in a intentional way, right? Like, don't just, if you only need 2 cards to get what you need done, then you only need 2 cards, right? Especially if you decided that you're done with sub hunting or something like that. Like, yeah, no, that's definitely a good way to go. And in fact, sometimes background, I'm actually jealous of people like that. Like 40 cards is way too much, but I'm at a point where like, if I cancel like probably 4 or 5 of my cards, like I can, my available credit can take a decent hit. And so like, I don't know if I want to do that, but yeah, there's a lot dealing with all that. Dim, our Boxer is saying my very limited travel setup is my Capital One setup. Yeah. So for your Capital One, Boxer, is it the Venture card, the Venture One, or the Venture X? I'm curious about that. QC man, yeah, no, that is one of the best travel setups, and that's kind of whenever I go to Paris or something like that. Like that's what I'm taking, because no foreign transaction fees, which is huge, but also it's Visa or a Mastercard. It's going to be taken. It's going to be accepted. It's clean. Dem says it's clean setup. I'm pretty city heavy too, but I've been focused on Amex at the moment. Do have some city cards on me as backups. Not needed. Yeah, cities are great cards. Like, don't get me wrong. I just would not want that to be my only card in my travel wallet, because like if they do ever decide to be that you're the one that has to send that letter in, you're not getting in. You're not going anywhere. Link 8754, does City have a pre-approval tool to check with that strat card, but not sure if they will approve me. Every once in a while they do, but it kind of disappears every once in a while. Those like I just, so I'm kind of in a weird spot. Like I know a lot of people really focus on managing their hard pools, but I mean, I haven't worried that much about it. And so like I've definitely been one of those persons where like if I'm interested in the card, I'll just apply for the card. But I also do have, I think, 22 hard pools at the moment with Experian, because everyone pulls Experian for some reason with me. Stacy's travel points. Card pointers activation of offers on my Chase and MX cards is awesome. It truly has saved me so much this year. Yeah, 100%. Those offers are crazy. And oh yeah, the CSR. So the thing I love about the Chase offers is that they're not very large, right? Like if you're looking to save hundreds of dollars on a purchase, Amex offers is where you want to go. But if you're looking to just like use a card and save 5 to 10% off like restaurants you go to, regular like local places to shop. Like I've seen like local bookstores give me 7% off. Like you can save a lot of money on those Chase cards with those Chase offers. My problem is that I just like I don't like I'm not going to put money on my Chase Freedom Unlimited like for just random shopping because I got the Venture card, I got the Blue Business Plus card. I'd rather get 2x than 1.5x, even if we're talking about Hyatt points. But yeah, no, those Chase offers are good. Like you like the sheer volume of Chase offers that I've been able to redeem is far more offers than American Express. But then American Express, like the dollar amount is higher, and so that's kind of the way I kind of balance those two things. But that's a great point, Stacy. Thanks so much. James V. At my restaurant, we are cheaper on Uber Eats and DoorDash per pickup. We have a few specials. Okay, that's good to know. So it seems like some restaurants might be kind of targeting that particular type of business. That's good to know. I have. It's been a while since I've been involved in the business side of restaurants, and so like I love hearing stories about that. I was in restaurants for like 10 years before college, through college, and then a couple years after college. And I'm always fascinated by the business. I've always thought about doing maybe like doing one of those like restaurant vendor sales jobs or something like that, just because to get back into it because I kind of love the chaos a little bit. Boxer at Dim, I'm seriously considering going in on City as well. I only got 2 cards to complete my Chase setup, but not sure, too sure when I'm going to do that. So I wonder how many people like their Freedom Flex, because I feel like the only thing I hear about the Freedom Flex is that people hate the multipliers. And I feel like that's kind of widespread. I'm not quite sure, like if maybe I'm just like reading the wrong Reddit threads or something. But it seems like a lot of people really seem to like not like the Freedom Flex. Kevin Wynn, my family shop Smart and Final, Trader Joe, or Asian grocery store for groceries. Not sure at earn 4x for groceries. Yeah, that's fair. Orlando just got an H Mart, and I'm actually told that it's actually the world's largest H Mart. I haven't been over there yet, but it looks really cool. It looks like a really cool time to go. So I may have to go test that out to see if the gold card works at H Mart. So thanks for the suggestion. All right, Dim. So I have tons of overlap that I really need to clean up. Prestige, City Strata Elite, Strata Premier, Double Cash. Yeah, it's really easy to get a lot of overlap, specifically on like dining, groceries, even some gas categories. I feel like it's possible to have some overlap. Like right now, I have the Business Gold Card, which can get 4x on gas. Then I have the City Strata Premier, which can get 3x on gas. And then we have the Gemini card, which also gets 4x on gas to a certain point every year. And so like it's definitely easy to get that overlap. So you can be a little bit more intentional sometimes. And so that's good to know. Kevin says, and Costco. Yeah, Costco. So how many of you use the Costco credit card like at Costco? Does anybody do that, or do they just do it for gas card stuff? I'm genuinely curious because I see a lot of Costco cards in the wild. Whenever like, and there's some family members that again just use the Costco card as their only card, and it's interesting to me. Dim City was my first card setup. I worked there for 12. Wow, okay, that's good to know. Like they have good cards. They have really, really good cards. Like the double cash is an interesting concept, right? Because it's rewarding paying off your thing, right? So it's like when you have the Capital One stuff. The thing I don't like about the Capital One rewards because it's instant, right? As soon as you make that swipe and it goes through, so it actually clears, you get those points, and it makes it look like you're earning money when you're actually just getting yourself into debt. But the City Double Cash, I love it because you have to first of all have to wait for the statement to close, but then you don't get those points until after you pay that bill, and so it's like it's rewarding you for paying the bill in a way. And I like that idea. It's an interesting idea. They have good cards. Just the customer service. If you ever get in a position where you're stuck, it's a lot harder to get out of that than with a different bank, and that's the only problem I have with them. Boxer at Dim, my issue with City is they do not have a strong business card. That's fair. That is a good point too, for my use case. But I would make work of the CSP and the double cash. So not sure if the business card matters much for me. Yeah, no, that's definitely true. Citi is updating their systems and not allowing product changes on their cards until after Sunday. Hoping to change my first Advantage Platinum card to something other than MyLup or Costco card. Yes, if we can do that, I've got a Platinum Select. I would love to turn into a custom cash. We definitely need to look into that. Sorry, I had to take a drink break. But yeah, no, I would love to do that. That would be amazing. Damn, I do agree, Boxer. The business cards are pretty weak. Yeah, they definitely can be. Solid most players and transfer partners, though. Yeah. Even before American, like decent transfer partners. All right, start of Q1. I'm going strict Capital One to see if I can get out of the bucket for credit limit increases. If I do, I might go at half, then back to Amex. Yeah, that was the same thing that I did a while ago. I was like, I'm gonna be super good about it. I'm gonna spend only on Capital One, and I didn't. I did. I mean, it's not like I don't like their cards. I love their cards. It's just I love Amex. I love sign up bonuses, right? That's good. All right, we have a Pikachu hero. Hi, Philip. I'm still unsure about getting a Marriott card. Could I get another video about them? Yeah, thank you. I love talking about it. And also, this is my Ritz Carlton card is my favorite. Yeah, it is a great card, and the thing I love about it is it's not that it's actually like the nicest card that I have. Like it's the heaviest. It looks nice, but like I love the fact that I can call them and it goes straight to a person, usually a supervisor. And so if you have a problem and you have to get it resolved with Chase, I'm calling that Ritz Carlton line, right? That's huge, right? It's a JP Morgan customer service line. I love it. It's amazing. The credits are nice. And honestly, the Sapphire Lounge is my personal favorite. I love them more than the Centurion Lounge. Of course, I've only been to the one in Philadelphia, but that was a good one, right? That was a good one. The food was good. It's just I love the atmosphere. It didn't feel like I was like trying to like hunt for like when you go into the Centurion Lounge in Atlanta, it feels like you're just like it feels like you're in high school again at the high school cafeteria, and you're just like, oh, I gotta go get my chocolate milk before so and so does, and like it's a lot, right? The Shea Sapphire Lounge is small, intimate, it feels nice, right? Kevin, I have been targeted, autograph, active cash, autograph journey, no fee choice card, one key card. Wow, it sounds like Citi really, really wants your business. Or Wells Fargo really wants your business. Sorry. I would take them up on one of them. The active cash card is not bad. My wife has one of those. We actually use that for getting, what did we get that for? Our floors. We got our floors and put it on the active cash card because we got the sign up bonus and then, the 2% cash back, which we actually put towards the actual balance. And of course we had, I think 18 months to pay it off or something like that. But yeah, no, those are awesome cards. Boxer Biz Gold could be easy for you with your fuel spend. Absolutely, yeah. I think we talked. Boxer has like some sort of like a special corporate contract or something. But yeah, no, that would be a solid win. Thanks so much, QC man. I appreciate $2. Close win over Belichick for UVA today. I know that was well because I was actually in a garage sale, so I didn't get to see it, play by play. But when I was following it, I was like, oh man, that's so close. But I'll tell you what I was watching before I came on was that Vanderbilt game. Like I just love Vanderbilt's doing a really kind of aggressive kind of like the very aggressive offense right now. It's fun to watch. But yeah, no, they're living their best life this year. I don't know what's going on, but they are drinking the Kool-Aid and it's a good time. Thanks so much, QC man. I appreciate you. Boxer, I love my active cash. Usually can't wait to get an autograph. Yeah, no, I would love to get an autograph. That was actually the first Wells Fargo card I applied for, and they were just like, nope, we're good. And I was like, okay. Boxer, my fuel supplier does not take cards yet. Trust me, once I do, I'm all in. I'd actually switch cards when I need points or whatnot, but the business, I tend to do more cash back. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Honestly, the Robinhood Gold card, if you're all cash back, is not a bad one to do. I know that may be a 4-letter word here, but if you are team cashback, and it sounds like you are, Boxer, that could, the Robinhood Gold card is not bad. That stinks. Yeah, no, it definitely does stink. I would want to do that. 100% right now, only ACH. Can't really blame them. In a few weeks, it'll be the $3,400 a week. I'm sure they tried, and people tried to reverse the charge. Oh yeah, that makes sense. That's yeah. Gotta love it. Gotta love that. QC man, Wells Fargo only sends me mailers for the 21-month interest card. Yeah, it was. I think that's what the Reflect card or something like that, right? But I'm sure if I apply for an Active Cash or autograph, I'd be fine. Or maybe Wells Fargo hates me. Yeah, I'm gonna have to keep my Wells Fargo account open. I'm actually cycling through. I just cleared for my second bank account opening bonus, and so hopefully, if I keep that open for a little bit, they're gonna be a little bit nicer to me. Maybe next year. Dim, does Melio make sense to use for ACH payments? Oh yeah, may want to check that out. Yeah, I think there's some fees with that though, but that could be good, especially if you're not the one paying for it too. Dim, not too familiar with it, but I have heard it's commonly used. Yeah. Now they require my bank account for weekly ACHs, and sometimes, yeah, that's true. Yeah. All right. Let's see. We got a weird question now. I got a weird question. I'm going flex. It'll double for dining and the 5% categories. Okay. All right. So you're going to the flex. Yeah. Okay. All right. I've got a weird reason I'm going flex. Okay. Yeah. I'll double for dining and the 5% category. Yeah. No, that's a good reason to do it. If those 5% categories work for you, yeah. Every time I hear about it, it's like, oh, it sucks this month, but maybe I'm just in Reddit too much. That would be Gray Boxer. Both greens are due for a refresh. Does anybody actually have the business green card? So I was thinking about getting the business green just because, well, so American Express took away my personal card referrals, but I still have my business card referrals. And I don't have, like, I'm only working on my last one, which is my business cash referral. But after that, I kind of need another card. And I was thinking about opening up the business green card, but it sucks. It sucks. It's $95 a year, no benefits to speak of, crappy multipliers, 1x for everything, 2x for travel through the portal. Like that's terrible, right? I hate it. But does anyone have it? Why do you have it? Dim agreed I dump my gold for it and take the hit on the 1 point for dining, but I think of things way different than most. Yeah, that's fair. Manuel, so I mostly use my Costco card at Costco. Yeah, that's probably a good way to use it, right? Okay, that's good to know. Kevin, my mom used it for Costco and Costco gas. Yeah, I feel like it does pretty well in Costco gas. I think I've heard too. So that's good to know. Dim, same boat boxer can easily get 5 to 6x dining with Citi, but currently opting for 4x with Amex. Yeah, yeah. If you want to do the custom cash way, like you can do the 7 or 8 custom cash kind of ways, but that's a lot even for me, and I have like a lot of different credits and coupons I'm kind of working on, and 3x green. Yeah. So she earns about $200 in cash back from the Costco card. That's not bad, right? That $200 a year, that's a good reason to have a one vendor only card, right? I'll have that all day. Oh, wow. So I have 3 Marriott cards, the Brilliant, Marriott Business, and the Ritz. Okay, so I currently have the Ritz, and I'm planning, so I'll be eligible for the Marriott Business sign-up bonus in February. And so I'm going to make sure, like when my blue my blue business cash card is, I'll have that paid off next month, and then I can actually close it after December. So I'm going to close that, and then once I'm eligible in February, I'm going to apply for the Marriott business card and then get that. Hopefully it'd be nice if it was a 5-night free award. That would be really, really solid. And then I'm going to go for the Brilliant probably after that. But yeah, that's a solid setup. So with that one, you have 2 85,000 points a night, and then you have 1 35,000 point a night. Are you able to use that in the same property, or do you kind of split it up a little bit? That's a really solid setup. Dim, I'm getting a bunch of points on each ecosystem, then moving to the next. I'm spent on Capital One, but I might go all in on cash back, going hard in every penny going towards a home down payment. Yeah, no, when you're saving up for that home down payment, that is a hard one to do. There's a lot going on there, right? All right, Dim, that makes sense, Boxer, especially if you're not traveling much internationally. Yeah, no, 100%. Pikachu Hero, is it true you can get the Sapphire Lounge with a Venture X? Don't remember where I saw it before. Yes, so technically, any card that gives you a priority pass has the ability to get you into the Sapphire Lounge at least one time per year. That said, certain Sapphire Lounges, like the Etihad one is it Etihad? It's one of those. It's either that or Emirates. I feel like it's Etihad. It's an Etihad lounge that's also co-managed by Chase. If you're trying to get in on the priority pass, they can restrict you. They can just say no. So yeah, it is true you can do it, but there are some potential limitations I've heard. But yeah, that's the only thing. You definitely can do that, 100%. Dim, no, but the way I look at it, never hurts to have the points. Never know when you'll need a rainy day fund or emergency fund. Yeah, 100%. Especially if you're earning those transferable currencies, you're a little less subjected to the whims of the devaluation. So that's important to know too. Mostly when I find a Miss Boxer to travel with. Yeah, no. Once you get a family, you will use those points. So having them now is definitely not bad. QC man, you can get into Sapphire Lounge with a party pass. Yeah, exactly. So Sam, hey, question: is CSR 300 annual contribution continuing starting from 1026, or it's gone? So I'm assuming this is the $300 travel credit. Then yeah, that's going to be staying. QC man also answered all that, but it's not resetting on 1026 if you already use it. Okay, that's good to know, because I would definitely want to use that if it reset. Now, that's one of the things I loved about the Amex refresh, because American Express, like if you used the $200 travel or the hotel credit earlier in the year, you still have access to that $300 FHR credit, and that's huge. It's amazing. I love it. American Express, they know how to do it. That's why box having the versatility is a plus. My office slowly becoming a solid P2, so there's that. That's awesome. I got that POS Biz Green, but it was a downgrade. Okay, so you don't use it for anything, right? Because I think the sign-up bonus is even weak. It's like 15,000 points or something. QCB on the point of sale business grade. Yeah. That's definitely what POS means, right? All right, yes, and you can use it at the same property. Okay, we're actually catching up with the chat. That's amazing. If you go for the Brilliant, you'll need to temporarily downgrade your Ritz card. Yes, exactly, right. So you can't have the Ritz card while you're applying for the Brilliant card. So I think what I do is just downgrade. I think what I will do whenever I do go for the Brilliant card, which is probably going to be not next year, but the year after that, I'll just go ahead and downgrade the Ritz once the annual fee hits, and then go for the Brilliant, and then upgrade the Ritz whenever I feel like it. But I think that will kind of hurt my the free night award chances. So I'm not sure I'll have to look into when I need to do that to make sure that I actually do get that 85,000 point free night award, because I don't want to get shortchanged and only get the 35,000 one, or not even get one at all, right? No, but yeah, that'll be very difficult. You know what I'll do is, despite the fact that I can't use it, I'll just hold it in my wallet so I can like look at it. And it's kind of the Anthony Venture way to have the Ritz Carlton card, right? So like, I can use mine. He has to ask Keith for permission first, right? Boxer, thanks so much for being here. Have a great night. Thanks so much for all the questions and all the comments. It's been awesome. KRS, I have 4 Amex Business Platinums that I'm paying for. Amex is insane with the no lifetime language offers. That is amazing. If you can make that spend, absolutely. That's a solid card. It's a solid card. The thing that I love about it is the 2x on any purchase over $5,000, which I've actually used quite a bit. But yeah, managing those credits can be difficult because, well, yeah, because a lot of them are kind of annualized, right? So if you're taking a look at the Adobe credit, right? So the Adobe credit is kind of difficult because you have to spend, I think, $600 on Adobe in order to get the credit. And so you're probably not spending $1,800 on Adobe, right? So if you do, you could, like, if you did sign up for Adobe, you could get the Creative Suite on one card, and then you could sign up for Adobe Stock on the other card and then get both credits. But then you're also spending a lot of money with Adobe, and so that might be a problem. But yeah, no, you still have the FHR though, which is nice. So that's good. The Dell credit could be a little bit more difficult because, we're just like, what can I get at $150 at Dell times 3 or times 4 every year, right? That can be a problem. Maybe hard drives. I know some people love to just buy up hard drives, but then how many hard drives do you need, right? And it's not like they used to have like Bose headphones or something like that. They don't do that anymore, which is frustrating. But yeah, let's take a look. Actually, let's take a look at all the Amex Business Platinum. All right, let's take a look at the business platinum card because I know I'm forgetting something. Let me just throw it up on the screen here. We could talk about it. All right. Oh, wow. Okay, let's get 250,000 points. Let's go. But yeah, so that's for 20,000 spend. That's not bad for this card, honestly. That's not bad at all. So we got the. Let's take a look. So you can unlock over $3,500 in annual value. Of course, you know the Dell credit where they give you $5,000 for spending 5,000 is definitely a part of that, right? Actually, let me see if I can spread this out a little bit to go full screen. There we go. That looks a little prettier. Okay. The hotel credit, right? The hotel credit is your bread and butter. That's $300 times four. So $1,200 in free hotel stays every 6 months. Yeah, I'm going to go do a staycation for, twice a year. Or you could even do it once a year, right? So you can use your four for the first 6 months, book it for sometime in August or September, book the second part of the night. So you can get a full week completely paid for. Just in a nice hotel like the Waldorf in Orlando, or somewhere in Vegas or something like that. You can make this work for you, right? But yeah, the four business platinums is a lot. The fine hotels and resorts, yeah, sure. They tally up those benefits. Oh, you get $850 in the Global Lounge Collection. I'm sure we're getting exactly $850 in credits for that. Now, this one's going to be hard, right? Because this one has the quarterly credit, and I've already I let die one of my Delta Platinum or my Amex Business Platinum Delta or Hilton credits. I didn't use it this last quarter. And I was just like, we were going to stay at a Hilton in, let's see, Hershey, Pennsylvania. And we actually ended up walking out because the hotel was just that bad. And so we ended up not using this credit. But so this one times four. So now the thing about Hilton's is that you can do the prepaid rate and it goes towards this credit. So if you were able to somehow buy a room and then split it between two cards, you might be able to actually use this to get 2 nights free as well. Especially if you're looking at like a Hampton Inn or something, you might be able to do that. So that would be kind of something that I would think about. And then the airline credit, the obvious answer here is travel bank, right? Just throw that in a travel bank. What's that times four? So $800 every year for United Travel Bank. That's easy to use. And then Clear Plus credit, like you're not. I guess you're getting Clear for your family, extended family members, right? Because every single one of you gets a free Clear credit, so that's huge. All right, let's get into the more kind of other ones. So we have the Dell credit. So this one is only $150. You can spend $5,000 to get $1,000 otherwise, but that one's kind of hard. Let's take a look at Dell and see what you can get for 150. I got. You can get some key lights, I think, too. 5x points on Dell right now, and 3x on American. All right, so let's take a look at computers and accessories. So if we did, the easy one is software. So this is what I did this year. So I qualify for the education version of Adobe Creative Cloud, which was like $260, and then I got that paid for with my Dell credit. So that's easy if you're buying the software. You can cover, you can cover a year of Microsoft Family 365. So if you're kind of one of those, one of those weird Microsoft people, like you could totally do that. I'm totally tongue in cheek, right? If you guys use Microsoft, you're totally fine. But yeah, Karis is saying that Bose is back. Let's see. So let's do. Where is that going to be at? Electronics. So they got Alienware for gaming. Okay, so they got the Dell Pro earbuds, which I didn't even know they made. And they got Bose TV speaker. Okay, yeah. So if you're looking to enhance your speaking, home audio system. So this is actually just going to be speakers, right? Well, they do have the. Let's see. Oh yeah, there we go. The Bose Quiet Comfort headphones. So the problem with this is usually available for $200 or $250 on Amazon. So are you going to spend the extra $100 to save $150? Right? That's a question, right? And it's a good question to ask, right? Let's take a look here at. All right, so those Quiet Comfort headphones again. So the same price, just different color. So they got the JBLs, so you can stock up on that a little bit. That's not terrible. You can get the Sony Next speaker. Those are pretty cool. This one actually, like I wouldn't mind. It looks pretty cool. I wouldn't mind getting that. The Flip 7's actually a strong speaker too. I would use that. I would get that. All right, let's see what else they got. What about monitors? Can you get some monitors? So it's $150 off, but can you get some decent ones here for not too much? So 27-inch 4K monitor. It looks like this is the one that actually lets you like plug in USB-C. Yeah, so it's got two HDMI ports. Okay, yeah. So yeah, $239. Yeah, I would do that. Oh yeah, Philips Hue lights, exactly. So let's take a look at that. That's a good option. So let's take a look at, I think, is it electronics? Park electronics. Smart home. There we go. Yeah, so I think I recently got the lamp. So there was like a desk lamp you can get through Hue that was actually really good. And that's I used one of my yeah, here. So this is $140. So this one's not bad actually. I use this one for my desk lamp. That one's really nice. And then you can also one of the things I did want to get was that floor lamp too. Oh, whoa, you can also get Eufy solo cams. Okay, so I recently upgraded my home camera system, and we're on pretty much only Eufy stuff. And so the fact that they have that, that's going to be big for me. So yeah, so I could use 100. I could do four $150 purchases on this pretty quickly. I get a lamp. I get an outdoor camera. Yeah. Oh yeah. No. 100%. That 15% or that 15x special is nice. I think the last time I got my key light from Dell, and I think that one was like 10 or 11 or something, I feel like. So yeah, that's solid. So we got that credit locked down. So that's not bad. But $150, it's questionable. It's $250 off of 600. But again, I get Adobe Creative Cloud for being an educator. So for $250 for the year. So that's not good for me, but then I do sign up for the Adobe stock, and so that's an option. The wireless credit, $10 a month. The problem with this, the problem with using the $10 wireless credit is, first of all, for you, because you have four, that'd be kind of hard. But also, like, you actually, so it's a business insurance. So you have to actually, so when you're actually putting in your insurance claim for your phone with the cell phone protection on the business platinum card, I've heard some people say that they actually say like you have to say it's for business, or else they don't just like they'll just deny you. And so that's important. But this is going to be my biggest thing here. So 2x on key business purchases, eligible purchases at U.S. construction material and hardware suppliers, electronic good retailers, and software and cloud system providers, shipping providers, each eligible purchase of $5,000 or more. So construction material and hardware suppliers. I wonder if Ace Hardware covers is this, because we go to Ace Hardware downtown Winter Garden a decent amount. And so this is good too if you're, say, redoing your kitchen, which we recently acquired a bunch of paint. I need to test this to see if that gets 2x. Like, this is nice. The old reason I like it is because this I'd prefer to put large purchases on my Business Platinum card over my Blue Business Plus, because this one doesn't have a cap. So we put my taxes on here, which were, I think, $22,000 ish. And so we put that on there. And then you can buy, let's see, what else did I buy? Oh yeah, the prepayment for the adoption. So that was like 28,000. So we got 1.5x on it, but 2x is a lot better than 1.5 now. So this is a good reason to have the card just in general. But okay, so let's take a look at the credits. So this one, I'm never going to put $250,000 in spend. So I'm not even going to talk about this. I don't think you are either. Probably not. I mean, unless I'm completely off base, didn't tell me. The multipliers aren't bad. But this is solid. This is still solid. Yeah, sure, you got to pick a airline, but you got to pick an airline anyway. So 35% off redemption for United, that could work for you, especially since you can't actually book United points using Amex points, at least directly, right? So let's say we're using that $150. We'll give them the 120. The Indeed credit, no one's hiring people, so no one's going to use this. Unless you are hiring people, in which case, let me know. So we got what was it? The 150, we got the 120, so we got $270 right now. And then we get the $200 airline fee. So that's nice. So that's, $400. And then we get the $600 hotel credit. So yeah, you can break even on this card without going into too big of a deal. I mean, well, of course, once you factor in the $850 with the Global Lounge collection, then you're way ahead. I'm sorry. I hate the marketing little gambit thing. But yeah, no, okay, so let's catch up. Manuel, I applied for the Brilliant, still had an active rate. So did you? And so you were approved with that. Okay. I'd heard some people say that you weren't able to. I just need to manage the credits now. Yeah. So, I would wipe them out like in January. Well, if you haven't wiped out the Dell credits yet this year, I would do that. But if you have, then I would wait until January and then just like pick four things you wanted for around $150 if it's possible. But then I wouldn't worry too much about the Adobe credits or something like that. KRS, I just canceled my Blue Business Plus card because the ABP will handle the 2x charges with home improvement stores. If yeah, 100%. That is the killer. If you're making large purchases, this is a reason to have the card. Honestly, that's amazing. Yeah, no, it feels like a lot. That would be a lot for me to have to deal with. Pikachu Hero, what are you hoping for the rumored Amex Green refresh next year? I'm praying for 3x gas and 2x catch-all. Pikachu Hero, I'm with you. I would love to have a catch-all card on a personal Amex card. I don't think it's happening though. Like I just they had the opportunity. They had the opportunity, and the reason with the personal platinum card, they had the opportunity to make it because the City Strata Elite, they have 1.5x on there, right? They have the Venture X card, which is also a premium travel card, and probably maybe the most travel-y of the premium travel cards, arguably. That has 2x. So we have two premium travel card competitors that have a catch-all category. They could have thrown 1.5x and be fine, because honestly, like this business, this card, I think it reverts to, or is there? I don't think there is a cap on this. So like you can do 2x unlimited cap on the Blue Business on the Business Platinum card. So like, yeah, like they can make a 1.5x card and still come out on top a lot because their interchange fees are just that high. I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think they're going to do it because they love having that money. But yeah, 3x cast would be nice on the Amex Green. Honestly, they're going to throw in a $50 Resi credit, $25 every 6 months. Because I don't think they're going to do. I don't think they're going to do the lounge credits because they did have Lounge Buddy, but they're trying to limit access to the lounges, right? And so I don't see that happening. It would be nice, right? I don't know. I would love to see that. Don't get me wrong, Pikachu. I would love to see that. I don't know if they got it. I don't know if they have it in them. Well, they'll have to show us that that they got it. Okay. Denver at least breaking even. Gas and EV for green refresh. That would be nice. The gas and EV. I feel like a lot of people have EVs. It seems like it's becoming more and more common. Kara, sometimes something tells me the Blue Business Plus 50K cap was low for your business and spend anyway. Yeah, no. And here's the thing. The Blue Business Plus is one of the best entry-level business credit cards out there. Like that's why I use it on my channel business expenses because, it's low pressure, no annual fee. But then, having all that sort of thing is kind of a big deal, So yeah, no, that's 100%. Spend has everything to do with it. So, yeah. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So it's just a rehit. So QC Man, great point. Bo's back at Dell. I'm so glad to hear that. Although their prices could be a little bit more competitive, but it is what it is. Sean, I manage 80 plus cards between personal and business like a boss, no issues. That is amazing, Sean. Maybe we should all be watching your live because 80 cards. I thought I had a lot at 40. Wow, that's amazing. How many credit union cards do you have? Just out of curiosity, because I feel like a lot of people have kind of like those credit union cards that actually can be kind of helpful for certain things. What is the one that's like? There's a Navy Federal card that gives you Amazon Prime for free or something like that. That would be nice. We have a USAA, but the person that gave us access to USAA has passed away, and so I don't know if we have access to Navy Federal. So that would be the only thing. KRS, Philip Hue lights. Okay, yeah, 100%. Dell would be good. I'm just waiting for Rakuten to run a 15x special. Yeah, no, that's the way to go. You can buy Starbucks gift cards at some Starbucks in Hilton hotels, and it will trigger. Oh, that is good to know because what is it? The Waldorf does have, not the Waldorf, the Signia is a Hilton, and they have a Starbucks in the lobby. So I may have to go trigger that. I have to go test that out. That's it. That's a good way to know. Thank you so much. Ace Hardware counted for me. Okay, that's good to know. So I'll have to do that because we actually do things quite a bit with Ace, and so we're gonna have to get some house stuff recent too. So I may have to do that. I pay $10 a month towards T-Bone each month with each. Okay, yeah, that's good to know. And then the insurance thing may be a thing. Nicholas, if you were in the military and had a free annual fee, what would be your 5x Amex? What would be your 5 Amex credit cards? Honestly, okay, so it depends. Hotels or airlines, right? That's the question, right? Because if you're going hotels, aspire, 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 aspire. And the great thing about that is because first of all, you get the 5 free nights, so paid vacation every single year across the world. Huge win for free, right? But you have access to the Hilton Resort credits, which are great because if you're staying free nights at those places for 5 nights, those resort credits are going to cover your taxes and fees, your resort charges, your parking if you're going there, like all that stuff. So this is like it's free travel if you're in the military. But here's the caveat: if you're airfare, you go the Delta route, right? You get the Delta Reserve, you get the Delta Personal Reserve, you get the Delta Platinum, and you get the Delta Personal, the business Platinum. And so the reason you do that is because you get Delta Gold status, and that gets you access to, I think, lounge access. That gives you access to a lot of different fun things that can be really helpful, right? So that's kind of going to be the big thing. Mike Newland has a good question though. Do you get annual fee free on co-branded cards too in the military? I would assume if you get it with one, it would go for all of them, right? But maybe there is a difference. I'm not sure because the charge cards are different, right? So that's fair. James has a great question. So you're telling me that all single people should marry a military person? There's a reason why it's a trope that everyone wants to marry someone fresh out of boot camp, right? That's a trope, right? And so because there's military benefits, there's retirement, there's the impending disability, apparently. There's all sorts of things, right? But yeah, no, that's huge. So that's big. And if you're especially a lifer, that continues until you're no longer active duty, I believe, right? So that's kind of a big deal. Everything is free, but not on the business. Oh, okay. So then that would rule out the Delta strategy then. Well, I mean, even still, like if you're at least getting it half off, you're getting you're buying the Delta Gold status at a cheaper rate. But so the Aspire card, I think, would still work then if we were to get all Aspires. Then there's that. But then you could also get the Brilliant card, which that may be actually better because if you're not doing the annual fee, you do still get the free nights. They're a little bit harder to use, but you do get the dining credits, which can be helpful because I think that's what like they're $20 every month or something like that, just any dining purchase, and so that's nice. Nicholas, me and my wife want to get 3 Hilton Aspire credit cards each, 2 Delta Reserve, and 10 Platinums. Oh man, that's why not, right? 10 Platinums. That's it, and you get the sign-up bonus, right, for every single one. That's incredible. So 2 Hilton Aspires each, or 3 Hilton Aspires each, so 6 free nights. That's not bad. Now, question: if you're booking the 3 free nights, so let's say if you're in the same property, so that would be 6 free nights somewhere. Do you have to like check out and then check back in, or maybe they're able to merge their reservations? I wonder. That would be a good question. But yeah, no, the Aspires, absolutely. The Delta Reserves, absolutely. The fun thing I love about having the Reserve card with the Platinum card is that if you travel a lot, you actually have like a lot more access to, say, the Sky Clubs, right? Because if you travel a lot with the Platinum card, you can run out of those 10 limit or those 10 visits. Now they're 24-hour visits, right? We need to say that, but you can run out of them pretty quickly. So that's kind of a big deal. But having the Delta Reserves plus the Platinums, like you can basically go like 4 or 5 times a month and you're still going to be fine, at least with all those limits. So there you go. Now the only problem is you definitely want to make sure that you cancel those cards, once are no longer active duty, because that would be a problem. That would put me into debt pretty quickly if I had to pay all those annual fees. That's amazing though. A CSRB, do it. Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, be the data point you want to see in life. Okay, so now that we're kind of getting a little bit caught up on the chat, what I wanted to do is I actually wanted to share a little bit of interesting personal news. So I actually recently got my first bottle of Blanton. So I know a lot of kind of credit card YouTubers have been talking about boozing it up a little bit. But the fun thing about this is that I actually got an American Express offer from a website called servedneat.com. And what they actually specialize in is obtaining kind of rare, difficult to get bottles of liquor and then kind of just selling it to you and shipping it to you. So this one's actually shipped from New York, and I did have to buy the shipping insurance and I did have to sign for it when it came in. So yeah, yeah, exactly. So this is actually this bottle here was actually it was dumped on 6/14/25, which is actually I was in Louisville at the time that this was dumped. But no, so this was definitely to celebrate the baby. But anyway, I got the offer on American Express, and so with the offer, and then there was a sale on this particular bottle, and I ended up getting it for about $60. Now I did have to spend, I think it was $35 in shipping. And then it was $5 else for the insurance, because they were like, if it breaks in transit, we're not going to refund you unless you have the insurance. I was like, well, okay, I'm going to get the insurance. But yeah, so $60 bottle of Blanton's shipped to my door. And I actually haven't opened it yet. So we're going to open it right now. And this is actually my first cork. So I'm going to put that aside. Ooh, that tastes good. Oh yeah, that smells really good. Got to drink all my ice water. There we go. So we're going to pour it up. You hear that? There we go. Yeah. All right. So we're going to do that real quick. Going to put my little stopper back up and then put that aside. And now we're going to try it. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's really good. All right, now I'm waking up to keep going. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So I was just kind of looking, this was just the general one. There were some that you could actually pick the date. And yeah, that's actually a good idea. I could probably do that. But yeah, this was the cheaper bottle. There are some that you could like pick the date and things like that. But they were a little bit more expensive. I think they're like $200. Let's see. Some people look for plans with a specific dump date. Okay. Okay. So let's see. There we go. Yeah. All right. So, Dim, so you were taking a look. Oh yeah. So you said I have, spend $200, get $40 back on 3 of my Amex. Okay. Yeah. That's awesome. So I didn't have that much. I think it was, spend $100 or something. And I forgot, I think maybe $20 back or something like that. And so that was nice. But yeah, no, it's a nice little website. You can get some Eagle Rare. They do have some other options as well. But yeah, that's good. So James, yeah, that is definitely one of the best bourbons I've ever had. It is very complex. It is smooth. It is complex. I love it. So I actually have to tell you, so when I lived in DC, I was a bartender at the Capitol Hill Club. So it was on the house side. And so down there's a little basement, and I was a bartender there. And Lindsey Graham would always come in. He was always very fond of Blantz. It was the only thing he was going to drink. And so I was like, oh yeah, hey, that's good. But yeah, no, this is the first bottle I've ever bought for myself. I've had it in restaurants and stuff, but definitely my favorite so far. Cheers, congratulations to you and your wife. Thanks so much. We're really excited about the baby. We're actually going to be moving out of here soon because this is going to be the nursery. Now that we have it confirmed that this is going to be a boy, this is actually going to be a Ralph Lauren themed nursery. And so the green is definitely kind of on brand. Dim, Philip, you'll have to start collecting the horses to complete the set. Absolutely, yeah. We went to let's see, it was Buffalo Trace when I was in Louisville this summer, and they actually had like the collectors kind of display set. So I'm gonna have to make sure I keep that because I love that they do that. That's so cool. It just gives you a reason to keep buying more. Please tell me you're also going to talk alcoholic beverages on your channel. I'm trying to learn more about whiskey. Yeah, sure. It seems like more and more people are kind of open to it. So as long as I don't get demonetized, we're definitely going to do it. I do have Four Roses is kind of my personal favorite, at least since my Louisville trip. Just because I really appreciated how like especially specifically the single barrel stuff. So like if you're just getting the bourbon, that's kind of the mixed one. It hasn't been so good. But the single barrels are really great. And I love that you can kind of go with different like styles and flavors, right? Like the letters on that bottle mean something. And I love too that you can actually get a decent amount. So the ABC store that's next to me, you can get a bunch of different varieties of the single barrel for Four Roses. So you can kind of like figure out what it is you're looking for while not living in Louisville, which is really nice. And so like I really love that one. I have been trying. I got the Jefferson Reserve bottle recently, and I wasn't the biggest fan of that. And so my wife and I do have to say too, my wife and I are going to be going to Edinburgh, Scotland soon, and so next year. And so I got a bottle of scotch, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try this. It seems good, but honestly, I think I like bourbon a little bit better. Just the flavor is just a little bit more developed, and it's funny because like you're charring the barrels with bourbon, and it has to be a certain length of time and a certain temperature and all that sort of thing. And it's really kind of weird that like the sugars and the burnt wood, like it's just like it really it does something. It's really cool. And then like the way the seasons kind of like shrink the wood and expand the wood, it's like it is really cool when you think about the science behind it. Like they really take themselves quite seriously. And Wallace says I have to try Uncle Nearest 1856. Okay, cool. I'm kind of looking at a bunch of like I'm just kind of trying to get into it. So I've tried the Four Roses, I tried the Jeffersons one, I've gotten this one, and I'm trying to make a couple of lists of some of the ones that I saw that looked really cool. So I'm very lucky. The ABC store next to me has a decent selection, and so like there's a couple of there that I really want to try. I'll have to make sure that goes on my list. But one of my friends, my wife's cousin, I think, he's really into Buffalo Trace, like just a general Buffalo Trace, which is nice. And they actually had us try the bourbon cream when we were there, which was actually not bad. Not usually kind of a cordial or like liqueur kind of person, but it was good. Mhm. Oh, that's good. All right, so where were we? We talking about credit cards, talking about the business platinum card. It's a good card. I do want to talk about. Actually, let's go into my business email for a second. Let's see here. So have you guys seen this? So there's a new card holder uh, wallet from Exter. So it's got a magnet. So I got me one of these. My friend, my Exter is going to send this to me, and I'm going to try it out for you guys. But I really, really like this idea. Like being able to carry all your wallets, but also attach to your phone is great because a lot of the time, like I have been a front pocket wallet wearer, and I do like the idea of being able to carry my wallet in my front pocket, but then I always lose um I lose access for to put my AirPods in my front pocket or my car keys, and so having this might be helpful. So this is a cool wallet. But if you do have I do have a coupon code in the description below if you want to get 10% off of this or any other order. It does stack with existing offers on Extra's website, so I want to make sure I say that. Let's see, Uncle Mike Newland. Are you going to get a vintage trunk or steamer for your boys' room? We have been thinking about it. So we're kind of like right now we're going for kind of darker woods. And so we have I want to say like a dark maple crib that's going to go in here. And then we obtained like a kind of an antique dresser that's going to be our baby changing table because it's kind of the right height. And then we got this really cool rug. I wonder if I can actually show you. Let's see here. Maybe you can see the ground here. So there's a really cool rug that's on the floor. That's kind of like really kind of like almost tartan a little bit, but not quite. And so like we're kind of like already starting to go a little bit, and we have like all of the baby accoutrement. When it comes to like like we got the diaper genie over here, we got the baby Brezza, which is like it's like a Keurig for formula. That was so much stuff that I didn't even realize you could buy. But yeah, so we're kind of going for kind of like a sophisticated look. So we got the rug down. We're gonna change the window hangings a little bit. My wife has the vision, and I get to execute it. Which painting the room honestly kind of changed the whole dynamic of the room. It just made the space feel a little bit more luxurious. So we're looking forward to that. And of course, when we found out it was going to be a boy last week, we went to we have a Ralph Lauren Polo, like a factory store, just for kids. And so we went there and we picked up a couple of onesies and stuff. It felt good to be able to do that. So we're happy about that. So Karis, E.H. Taylor, single barrel is my favorite. Okay, yeah. So when we went to Buffalo Trace, so first of all, they had their main store was closed because they had flooding. I think earlier, it was either late last year or early this year. And so they were kind of moving some things around, but they do have a bottle of the day. And so if you're actually there, you can have like, some really cool bottles. Like Blanton's is available there, and you can only buy it that day. And it's usually at a special price. And so they did have E.H. Taylor single barrel there as the bottle of the day. And I want to say it was like 50, something like that, like low 50s for the bottle. I'm not sure if that was good, probably not. But it looks like it was definitely flying off the shelves. They were having difficulty keeping that one stocked. John J. Bowman single barrel is this exact same whiskey, but at half the price. That's good to know. Fun fact: if you're a Costco shopper, the single barrel Four Roses can be like $45, I think, or now $40 is what I got it for. So a little bit cheaper than getting it directly or through the liquor store. So that's an option as well. Okay, well, we are starting to slow down a little bit. Do we have any other questions about credit cards that we can talk about? Because I know that we kind of get a little bit meandering through the topics and everything, but I do want to make sure that we're kind of answering all the questions that everyone has. I definitely can talk about bourbon as much as you guys want to, but I want to make sure that if anybody does have a credit card question, we kind of focus on that as well. Juan Garcia, my favorite bourbon is Pappy Van Winkle, but my drink of choice is Scotch, Balvenie. Okay. So yeah, Scotch is definitely like, it's smoother, right? It's just like the flavor of the bourbon. It's just like, it just feels like, oh man, it's just like, I do like the presence a little bit. But Pappy Van Winkle is actually, so my old, before I started going to school at UVA, I was waiting to become an in-state tuition. So I moved up to Virginia, lived there for a year, and then I was qualified for in-state tuition, which saved a significant chunk of money. It was worth the wait. Well, during that year, I actually was a car salesman. So I worked on the Honda sales floor, and then ended up actually working for so we had a Mercedes dealership, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Subaru, Toyota, pretty much anything, honestly. And so I worked there, but my sales manager, he was a big fan of Pappy Van Winkle, and he always kept a bottle at his desk. And whenever you sold, like if you hit your 10 or more, I think in a month, like you got a drink of it. And it was a cool little way to go. But yeah, so Pappy Van Winkle is definitely on my list. I haven't tried it yet, but I can't wait to. All right, let's take a look. Nicholas, what is the worst credit card benefit that you have seen? Oh, that's a really good question. I have to think about this one. The worst credit card benefit that you have seen. Okay, let's take a look here. So we have there's a way to do this. This is a difficult one because like I can go with one that I don't like, but like the worst one I've seen That's like there's got to be something, right? Interesting. Okay. So let's actually let's take a look at some stuff. The business card. Well, we like the business card credits right now, so there's that. Let's see. Yeah, okay. We can talk about. I don't know if it's the worst one I've ever seen, but one credit that I don't really care for is the actually so the city card, the city strata premier card. Its credit is you get $100 off of being able to you get $100 off of a hotel benefit or a hotel stay, but you have to spend $500 at least on that single hotel stay in order to get that $100 off. And so when you're taking a look at hotel credits at that price point, it's very difficult because you also have to use it through the city travel portal, which, I'm not really a fan of the travel portals anyway, but the city one feels like more of one that I would not use. So that's kind of just my perspective on that. I'm sure there's one worse. I'll have to do some research actually because you know what? That's I'm gonna have to make sure I make a note because I'm gonna do the video on that. That'd be a good one. There's got to be another one. The worst credit card benefit. Okay, yeah. Actually, you know what? Synchrony cards. Let's say let's pick on Synchrony a little bit. I'm sure I have one around here somewhere. There we go. Okay, the worst benefit is the Venmo credit card. You, for the very low price of $1.99, can get a statement sent to your address in paper form. It's not really a benefit, but it sucks, right? Yeah. Um. Oh, here it is. You know what? Let's. There we go. I know the answer to this question. So I recently closed down my Virgin Red card, but we have to take a look at the Virgin Red Rewards Mastercard. We got to do it. So I got it because of the sign up bonus. But let's take a look. Okay, yeah, you get the cookies. Let's see here. We get earnings, rewards, and learn more. Okay, let's look at the card. All right, so you get 60,000 in welcome bonus. It's great. That's a great bonus. Earn up to 3 Virgin points per dollar on only Virgin things. Here we go. So choose from 6 personal perks twice per year. And so this is kind of crazy. So let's take a look at this. Discover personal perks. Okay, so spend $15,000 in a cardholder year to choose one personal perk, or 30,000 to choose a total of two. So keep in mind, you're spending $2 or 2 points per dollar on like some key categories like dining, and then it's 1 point per dollar for everything else. So you're spending $15,000 on 1 Virgin point per dollar on most things, and you get a companion seat or cabin upgrade, which, okay, that's nice. I don't know if it's $15,000 nice, but up to $300 bar tab or Blue Extras perk package. So you get $300 off of your bar tab on a Virgin Voyages trip after you spend $15,000 on this one card. So the Virgin Red card, yes, the worst possible benefit at all is $300 on bar tab on a Virgin Voyages trip after you spend $15,000 on a crappy card. So yeah, thank you so much. That was a great question. I had to do a little bit of thinking, but I got there. So thanks so much, Nicholas. But yeah, no, that's a bad benefit of that card, which is weird because like it could work, right? If you did the free night hotel, that can be like $300-$400 off per depending on which property you stay at. But otherwise, not the best. KRS, if you mix Weller 12 and Weller Antique, ends up tasting a lot like Pappy. They call it poor man's Pappy. There's a recipe for the blend. Okay, that's good to know. Oh, you know what's weird? Okay, so when my friend and I, we went to Louisville, Kentucky, and we decided to go to the Louisville Slugger Museum. And they also had a bourbon mixing course. And I was like, yeah, sure. Let's do the touristy thing. We'll do the thing. Worst bourbon I've ever had in my life. So it's in the same building, different door, and you go in and they just like they make different. They gives you a bunch of different types of bourbon. So one is maple, one's like pine or something, and like one, and then the one is like smoky, and then like you're supposed to like mix and find like your favorite blend or whatever. And it was just like it was garbage because garbage in means usually garbage comes out, and yeah, it was it was definitely not good. So whenever I hear blend, I get a little bit of PTSD, but that probably could be good, especially if it's a poor man's Pappy. Nicholas, I don't know if I've seen this answer in one of your videos, but I have to know what got you in the credit card game. For me, it was you. Oh, thanks so much. That is amazing. That's incredible. Thank you so much, Nicholas. I appreciate you. You're my favorite subscriber. Well, hopefully, you're a subscriber. Favorite viewer at the moment. But honestly, so okay, I've definitely talked to people on this channel before about my financial background. So my dad was killed by a drunk driver when I was 6 weeks old, and it was just my mom and me for a while. My mom and I, just yeah, mom and me, yeah, for a while. And there were a lot of financial up and downs. We were homeless for a little bit when I was in high school. Just some things were not good, right? And so as a result of that, I did not enter my college years with good credit. And so like it became like probably when I started dating my now wife, and like into our first year of marriage, like I was starting to get to the point where I was making good financial situations and had been for a couple of years, and was kind of fixing the problems, right? So I was paying down my high interest credit card debt. I was like, making sure that everything was paid on time and in full, all that stuff, right? All the stuff that we all say that you have to do, I was doing. And I got rewarded essentially by getting my first, it's what I call my first adult credit card. It was my Amazon Prime Visa. And I use this more than I should have, which is a mistake in itself because it only earns 2% cash back on restaurants, but it was my first true rewards card that I was paying on, paying off and doing all the things. And like it made me feel like a baller. So my first trip, after this, my next card was my Southwest Plus card, and I got it got like a stupid high bonus. I want to say 100,000 points or something stupid for opening up that. And so my wife and I, we didn't go when we got married. We didn't do a honeymoon because we were trying to save again for a house. And so what we did do instead was after our 1 year anniversary, we decided to do a week trip to Tennessee. So we flew into Nashville, and then we actually got a rental car, and then we drove down to Chattanooga, stayed for a little bit. I used to live in Cleveland, Tennessee for a little bit, and so I got to show her kind of my old haunts, Lee University, the whole 9 yards, and then we went up to Knoxville, and then stayed at a cabin that was not too far away from Pigeon Forge, and then we drove back to Nashville. It was a great trip. It was like a week and a half, I want to say, and I was in charge of two things. I was in charge of flying us there, getting us back, and I was in charge of booking the rental car. And between these two cards, so first of all, I was able to use my Southwest points for the first time. My first ever redemption with points was getting my wife and I to our 1 year anniversary to Tennessee. And that free flight felt like it's a Southwest flight from Orlando to Tennessee. And it felt like I just made it happen. I was the man. Like I got us there for free. We were traveling for free. Now, of course, we paid the 550 or whatever it was for the taxes and fees. But then when we got there, I was kind of like I was stressed out a little bit because, you know, so first of all, we actually flew in. It was the night before someone had blown up a van or something on the strip there, and like it took out all the cell phone towers in the area. And so we didn't have any cell phone towers, or cell phone reception or anything. And I booked the cheapest rental car. And I was like, they were like, oh, you have to get the insurance. And it was like, $15 a day. And it was like, for that long of a trip, I was like, I couldn't afford it. And, I was like, oh, I can't do that. So I tried calling my wife because she was actually in a different part of the airport and I couldn't do it. Right. And so I was like, well, man, I've got to figure this out because if I mess up, right. If I mess up, we're in trouble, right? Like we're never going to financially recover if I, get in an accident with this card and like I'm on the hook for the full amount. But then I realized my Amazon Prime Visa card, and because the Visa signature card on my Southwest Plus card, like I had access to the collision damage waiver, and of course it was secondary, right? But we have car insurance through USAA, so that's fairly robust. And we were like, okay, I'm going to refuse this insurance. We're going to be fine. And that peace of mind, we didn't need it, clearly. But we didn't need it. But, that peace of mind that came with, I was able to, for the first time in my life, I had a credit card with a high enough credit limit to actually get a rental car, put the deposit on the rental car too. So like, that extra $300 or $400 or whatever it was they took, it was fine, right? It had never happened before in my life. The free flights, the rental car being taken care of, it felt like I really like I had it all together. I was an adult in that moment, I felt like. And like it was the best feeling. And I kind of been chasing that high ever since. Like so that's why I got the Marriott Bonvoy the Boundless card. So I saw they had the 5 free night award. We did that. And then from there, we just ended up doing the Amex business or the Amex personal gold card. And now, of course, I was kind of done with that one. I got the 60,000 point offer from Credit Karma, and but I was able to use it for 2 business. So between that, my sign up bonus for the Blue Business Plus card, that was 15,000 points. And then just on spend, we were able to get 100,000 points to do 2 business class redemptions for Air France. And then we're also able to do kind of later down the road, we were able to earn some more points. And then I was able to actually book 2 premium economy seats on Virgin from Orlando to London Heathrow. And so like I was like, I'm hooked, like because like I did the thing, right? Like I got the value. It was amazing, So that's how I got into the points and miles business. It was like that feeling of being able to kind of supply that feeling of stress-free travel, or at least a little bit less stressful travel. Just really just became addictive, honestly. So that's where I'm at. But anyway, let's catch up a little bit. Filmo's doctor recommended that he stop drinking, so I quit going to that doctor. There we go. Yeah. A bourbon a day keeps the doctor away. I think that's the saying. All right. Gabby Huberman Schlaze, I think. I'm sure I said that wrong. If you are willing to use the edit 2x points boost on the CSR, then would you consider the Chase Freedom Unlimited 3% catch-all? There you go. Yeah. I think the only problem with that would be, so I don't have the CSR, to be fair. So I don't actually know how this boost works, at least on a personal level. But it seems to me that it's kind of on a targeted basis for the property and the dates. And essentially, so like if you could count on it, right? Like if I knew exactly that I wanted to go on this property and I knew without a shadow of a doubt that that trip was actually going to happen, then yeah, you could definitely do that. But I think the edit collection just, it feels like it doesn't have that much of certainty. So I don't know if I'd be able to rely on that. That would be my only kind of reaction. But yeah, no, that's a really solid idea, because if you know that you're getting 2x, that could be good. So that's 2 cents per point. So it wouldn't be a 3x catch-all, but it could be a 3% catch-all, right? But yeah, that would be a good way to think about it. James, is Chase Reserve Business Sapphire a good solid card? All right, let's take a look at it, because I don't remember the Reserve Business Card. I don't remember the differences. So I think there was there definitely are some differences, right? That's why we're talking about it. So first of all, the sign-up bonus, right, is solid. If you could spend $30,000 in the first 6 months, 6 months is a decent amount of time to spend 30,000, right? So you can do it without relying on business spend, which is kind of huge. So you get the same multipliers, right? So the 4x direct on flights and hotels, it's solid. It's not as good as the Platinum Card's 5x, but it's still good, right? Especially with that direct hotel kind of in there, because with Amex, the only way to get higher multipliers is with is with the Amex Travel Portal, right? So these are good multipliers. Okay, so you get the $500 credit for stays with the edit, the $300 annual travel credit, Lounge Network. Let's see. Here we go. So ZipRecruiter credit. It is weird that there's ZipRecruiter credit for Amex and for Chase on the business side. So there's no exclusivity in that contract, which is pretty interesting. I wouldn't say that I'm getting. I wouldn't say I'm getting benefits from that. The DoorDash value, sure. The DoorDash promos, I think I'd probably use that about half. The Google Workspace credit, actually, so I have to have a Google domain and so a Google email for this business. So I would be able to use that. The curated gift card thing, I don't know. Has anyone had success with that? I don't know. I think my hardest thing would be to justify the ZipRecruiter credit if you're comparing this to the personal version. That would be my biggest thing. But everything else, and the Google Workspace credit. So if you were able to make either one of those work, then that could be a solid card for you, especially considering the higher the sign-up bonus. 200,000 points, 200,000 Chase points is pretty huge. That's a good question. That's a really good question. Thank you for that, James. That is a harsh story. I've seen a bunch of those stories. Yeah. Thank you. It's a lot of people, I feel like, don't kind of learn about finance. Like there's a lot of people and a lot of across the country, across the world, that they don't have a frame of reference for what getting your financial life together looks like. And that can be a problem, especially like if you don't know like what the steps are that you should be working towards. It can be hard to get there, right? And so yeah, no, that's thank you so much. Heard a bunch of stories. So yeah. That was a good story. Tennessee. Yeah, Tennessee, love Tennessee. It's a great. It's Emmanuel. Thanks so much for coming. I appreciate the $2. You're awesome. Everyone's been awesome. This has been a great live. I really enjoy you guys. Kevin, I feel old because my cousin in Texas, the three of them were born the same year, but different month when they're born. I'm 17 years older than three of them. Wow. Yeah. Okay. So I think my biggest thing when I was like, I'm old is so I when I moved down here, I tried to get a comms job, wasn't successful. So I ended up moving to teaching because my wife's parents, both of them are involved in education. And we had to do something for 9/11 one year. And I was like, because I was dealing with high schoolers. And I was like, it never occurred to me before then, but it hit me that like these kids, they have never seen a post 9/11 or a pre 9/11 world because they didn't exist before 9/11. It was just like, wow. Like I understood why. Like I like it wasn't surprised by it when I heard it, but it was like I hadn't thought about it that way. And I was like, wow, that just makes me feel old. Because I wasn't that old when 9/11 happened. I was 11 years old. But yeah, no, it's weird when that happens. It was just like, wow, okay, I'm old. But yeah, that and the fact that I can watch them eat like, cold pizza for breakfast and it's completely fine. I was like, what's up with that? But anyway, if there's anything else, I think we've just hit the 2 hour mark. So I've definitely been talking way too long. But thanks so much for this amazing conversation. Again, if there's any kind of last minute questions, we can still kind of be talking for the last like 5-10 minutes or so. If there's anything that you guys want to talk about, please make sure to put it in the chat. We're going to do that. But I think we might start calling it a night. 8:30, it's almost past my bedtime even on a Saturday. But anyway, so yeah, we'll keep going. But let's go ahead, let's take a look at what do we want to take a look at. Yeah, let's recap on the business gold card. So I did talked a little bit about the business gold card from American Express, and so it's actually one of my favorite cards. So let's take a look here real quick. So we're actually on an upgraded points offer. Actually, they may not have the upgraded information actually up yet. Let's see. There we go. Amex, straight from the horse's mouth. The business gold card. So 200,000 points, not bad, right? I was targeted. I tried to be targeted for the 200,000 point sign up bonus, but I was only able to get the 150,000 sign up bonus, but for 15,000 in spend, it was nice. I liked it. Would have been nice if it was 200,000 points, but 150,000, not bad. So this flexible business credit is, I love that it's flexible. It's nice, right? So we can take a look at this one here. You get $20 in statement credits monthly, but you can use it at FedEx. So a lot of places, if you're shipping anything, that's not bad. Grubhub, and this is where I use most of it, to be fair, and then office supply stores. So the fun thing about office supply stores they sell a lot of stuff, including food, groceries sometimes, maybe a little overpriced, but they still sell them, and they also sell gift cards. So that's also a really great kind of way to kind of maximize that credit, but also, maybe you want to get 4x on, say, Whole Foods, right? Go to an office supply store, use your business gold card, get that $20 credit back, and then, also get 4x on that purchase too. So that's not a bad idea. And then the Walmart Plus, we use Walmart Plus. My wife is like, why do you still use that? Because she got the Target Circle, like they were giving it away sometime a couple months ago, and she prefers to use the Target Circle card. So it seems like their picking is a little bit more accurate than the Walmart one, but Walmart Plus is not. It's fine. But we get it again through the platinum card, so it's not really. But here's the benefit here, right? So the categories for Forex are huge. So the purchase at U.S. media providers for advertising in select media, online, TV, radio, So that's nice. So if you're someone who's buying like Facebook ads or Instagram ads, that's not bad. U.S. purchases made from electronic good retailers and software and cloud service providers, so computers, stuff like that. That's huge. U.S. restaurants, U.S. gas stations, transit purchases, including trains. So this is not U.S. only, but transit purchases in general. So if you're doing parking, buses, subways, like if you're traveling overseas, this could be a good option for you, especially if they do actually accept American Express. And then of course monthly wireless telephone service charges. So there's a lot of good opportunities here. But then, they can help me find the credit card that's right for me. But then also they do have that one. Let's see, where is it? Is it not here? Did it go away? I think it went away. So they did have the Squarespace credit, and I actually enrolled in it, but I don't see it on this website unless it's old. Maybe it's old. We can take a look at that. Yeah, I don't see anything else. I am going to have to do some investigating. Let me take you off the screen so I can actually log into my account real quick. And I'll see if it's on my back end, just because if it went away, I would like to know about that. Because I was planning on using that. All right, so we're looking at the business gold card. I'm going to look at my account. So let's see here. Maybe I might be able to show you too. We'll see. You're not going to hack into my Amex cards accounts, are you? All right, so let's take a look here at rewards and benefits. All right, let's see if we can do this. All right, so rewards and benefits here. Let's go to, benefits here. Okay, so the Squarespace credit is still here. That's good. $150 annual Squarespace annual credit. So this is nice. So it's so we have the $240 flexible business credit, the Walmart Plus credit, and then the $150 Squarespace credit. So if you do have a smaller business, it's not a bad option, right? This is not a bad way for you to go about, living your life, and like it becomes more of a keeper card. It's $375 a year, but you do get some decent credits, and if it's something you're going to spend money on anyway, then that might be a good way to go. But anyway, thanks again for being here too. Let's go ahead and finish up everything. So Pikachu Hero is here. Thanks for your time, Philip. Thanks so much for being here. I appreciate you. You are my hero as well as Pikachu's hero. So thank you. Nicholas, thank you all for your knowledge, your big help. Thanks again for asking all the questions. I really appreciate you guys. I do want to make sure that I'm featuring QC Man here for 2Spot. Thanks so much. You have been awesome and continue to be awesome. QC Man is kind of reliably one of my supporters so far, so thank you so much for being here. And then Manuel was here too for $2 as well. Thanks so much. You guys are awesome. So let's go ahead and wrap things up now, but thanks again for being here, guys. I really appreciate sharing my Saturday nights with you, and it's great to kind of kick it back and just talk about what's going on. So anyway, thanks again. I will see you again next week on Saturday, and actually I will be working, so I probably won't be here at this time, but maybe we can get away with an earlier one on Saturday. But anyway, thanks again, and I can't wait to see you guys until next time. Bye.